Denver's Police Foundation is calling a video that was shown at a Denver school assembly reprehensible. The video telling students what to do and what not to do if they see a racist attack.
It urges witnesses not to call police unless the victim asks them to do so. 9 News reporter Cole Sullivan joins us now with the response from police and the principal in this case. Cole.
Kim, Denver South High School principal Rachel Goss says staff shared the video with students yesterday. In a letter to parents, she says staff intended to empower people who witness attacks. The Police Foundation says it supports that goal, but argues this video spreads, quote, toxic and dangerous rhetoric. As students return to the campus of Denver South High School, the first day brings controversy.
White supremacy and anti-blackness affects all of us, and fighting against it affirms all of our humanity.
This 4-minute video shown to students teaches them how to respond if they see a racist attack. It urges them to avoid involving police.
If the victim hasn't asked you to call the police, do not, I repeat, do not call the police.
In a statement, Denver's Police Foundation calls it disappointing and discouraging, fearing it could put students in situations they're not trained to handle and could discourage cooperation of the victim.
There's a lot of work to be done that the one video really cannot master.
Darlene Sampson is an equity specialist with a federally funded program. She helps school districts implement policies and curriculum to improve racial equity. We asked her to watch the video.
It's not as simple as just making a blanket statement about it.
She says while studies show police may come to schools with a bias, a racist attack is a crime.
I understand where the video's coming from, but I think we have to look at if something is a crime, it needs to be reported.
Students at Denver South need more background on racism than just one video, she says, because fighting hate sometimes needs to include the police.
When we're addressing hate and bias in schools, it's everyone. Everyone has to be engaged, from the community to the parents. You just cannot do it in isolation.
In the last 5 minutes, Denver Public Schools has responded to this video after we requested for comment. They say that the video was not fully vetted before it was shown to students, and they say that DPS leadership has reached out to the Denver Police Department leadership about this as well.
It's interesting, and you said some of this video is pulled from national sources. It wasn't produced locally.
Right.
They offer other tips as well.
Yeah, they talk about engaging with the victim, with ignoring the attacker, and documenting the incident. Other tips beyond just this kind of one flashpoint that's gotten a lot of folks talking today.
So the Denver Police Foundation commenting, are they more upset with the video or the fact that it was shown in a Denver school?
I don't want to speak for them, but I think that their perspective is probably they want a different message to be given to students than the message that this video has.
Well, it certainly has us all talking and thinking, and again, it's making headlines. If it can prompt helpful conversation, then it's a good thing.
And the principal says that the intention was not to cause any harm, but to create some of those conversations.
Yeah, if it does that.
I think there'll be more comments on this, especially now after airing this story. So there's probably more to come as far as this video and it being shown in school. Cole, thanks.
Of course.
We turn to Texas now, where the fate of the Uvalde School District Police Chief is going to be decided during a termination hearing that's set to start in about 30 minutes.
Pete Arredondo was placed on unpaid leave following his highly criticized handling of the shooting at Robb Elementary in May that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. Responding officers did not enter the classroom to confront the shooter until more than an hour after the shooting began, a move that some law enforcement experts say probably cost lives. Officials have said Arredondo was the on-scene commander during the shooting. He's disputed that, saying he did not believe he was in charge. He had been scheduled to be dismissed July 23rd, but as the school system superintendent pushed for his firing, Arredondo's attorney asked for more time.
Turning to Washington, D.C., right now police are investigating a shooting that killed 2 people, sent 3 others to the hospital. It happened this afternoon when police say a black SUV stopped in front of a senior citizen center. 2 gunmen got out and started shooting. 5 people were hit. The gunman apparently got back into the SUV and drove away. This part of D.C. where it happened is known to be an open-air drug market.
President Biden calls it a game changer, and today he announced the forgiveness of up to $10,000 in federal student loan debt for borrowers making less than $125,000 a year. An extension as well on the pause of payments until January.
So tens of millions of Americans stand to benefit from it. Now, progressive Democrats say it's not enough, and Republicans are calling it a handout that will only worsen inflation. Here's NBC's Alice Barr with more.
A new lifeline for roughly 45 million Americans drowning in student loans.
It's a lot more expensive than what our parents were paying.
President Biden announcing he's canceling up to $10,000 in federal student loan debt for borrowers who make less than $125,000 a year. Low-income Pell Grant recipients getting up to $20,000 in forgiveness.
To finally think about buying a home or starting a family or starting a business.
The Biden administration also announcing one last extension through the end of this year in the pause on federal student loan payments.
These targeted actions are for families who need it the most.
The president making good on a campaign promise to address student debt, though falling short of the $50,000 cancellation advocates had pushed for, while pointing to a broader problem.
The lack of state investment in higher education, and so students and their families have had to debt finance to fill in that gap.
Top Republican leaders slamming the debt relief as a slap in the face to working families without loans, arguing it'll only worsen inflation.
You cannot add that to the debt at a time where the debt is at near record levels and inflation is a huge problem.
The outrage over helping working people with student loans, I think is just simply wrong, dead wrong.
President Biden insisting that lowering monthly costs for millions will bolster the economy, bringing benefits to society as a whole. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And coming up at 5:30, Katie Eastman spoke with some Denver residents about the president's plan to forgive thousands in student loans. And as you just heard, not everyone is excited about it. Let's take a live look outside. Another beautiful blue sky day over the downtown skyline. Kathy's with us. And Kathy, these are very steady patterns we're in at the moment, but change is always coming.
It's just the best time of year. I mean, I know the kids are back in school, but it still looks and feels like summer. It's still nice to get outside, right? In the evening, still the sun's setting so late. You can walk the dog, go to the park, and just really enjoy this time of year. And it's not entirely calm, as Tom mentioned. Anytime you have moisture coming into the state with heating of the day, you'll get thunderstorms. Outside we go. All of that activity is up across the elevated terrain, but one or two trying to move into Fort Collins and also the Boulder area. Little wind, little lightning, and only about a 20% chance that we'll see rain from those isolated storms. Highs today, upper 80s as we expected, some 90s in eastern Colorado. We could go even warmer tomorrow. It's pretty dry out there, and so some of these thunderstorms that are developing are high base, meaning the base of the cloud is so far from the ground we're getting wind and lightning and not the rain we need. Even with that easterly wind flow, which sometimes will help to pull that moisture into the city. Slow moving storms are crossing the Continental Divide, moving from north to south, dropping some heavy rain in some of the burn scar areas. Nothing severe at this point and no flash flood warnings, which is great news. So slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm, really skies clear, slightly better chance tomorrow with the cloud cover coming in about 2 o'clock. So we're in the upper 80s right now. We'll drop into the upper 70s after sunset tonight. And in Maine weather, another check of the radar. We'll look ahead and kind of give you that extended forecast, including the weekend outlook in detail. And that's just a few more minutes away.